Share my screen. Oh wait, not yet. I'm doing it, so we're good. We're fine. I'm gonna wait for just a moment before I share my screen. Oh, I'm looking for Finn to be ready to listen. Finn. Hi, buddy. I'm over here. Hi. All right. So today we are going to another sound that when we gave you that test a couple of weeks ago that we noticed a lot of you missed was the X sound, was the X. And we also use some other letters for that sound. So we're going to do some work with when you use X and when you use CKS because they make a similar sound. And so we need to go over when is, and plus X is a word that we use not very often, but it does come up at the end of words and also in the middle of words. So my object for today is box. Because a box has that sound in it, box. And one of my favorite books, which shows off really well in our X and our CKS, is Fox and in Socks. And so I'm just going to do, oh, sorry, my friends here can't see it. My friends at home are good. All right. So here we go. Have I shared my screen, actually? Did I share my screen, Mrs. Oh, no, I haven't. Here we go. Wow, I got ahead of myself. Here we go. Now I'm good. Here we go. Oh my goodness, I hear so many voices. Fox and Socks by Dr. Seuss. Fox, socks, box, knocks. And most of those words you'll notice end in X, except for socks. Now, there's one fox, there's one box. Thank you, Haley and Ryder, if you don't mind. You'll notice a box, and there's only one Knox? Yes, but what do we notice about socks? There are two socks. So when we have a word that really means more than one, it's going to end in S. So we'll keep trying. Knocks in box, fox in socks. Knocks on fox in socks in box. Socks on knocks and knocks in box. Fox and socks on box on knocks. Oh my goodness, look at that. Chicks with bricks come, chicks with blocks come. Chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. So what do you notice about all of those words right there? What do they end with? Not just S, but also CKS, because there are more than one chick, there is more than one brick, there is more than one block, and more than one clock. So even though, oh my goodness, even though that bricks makes a sound just like those others, because we know there's more than one, we know that it doesn't have an X necessarily at that end. So if I had foxes, then we would know that without if there's more than one, that it's ES, and then a fox ends in that X. I'm just going to do one more page, and then we're going to move on. Look, sir, Mr. Knox, sir. Let's do tricks and bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. So again, Mr. Knox has that X sound, but tricks, bricks, blocks, and those chicks and clocks all have that more. If the word was by itself and you didn't have that S, it would just be clock. What sound do you hear at the end of clock when there's only one of them? Madison?
K.
A K sound, right? So that's how we know whether or not it's going to be CKS or if it's going to be an X. Because if the word isn't plural or having more than one, then it's probably going to make either a K sound by itself and we know it's CK, or we're going to notice that it stays that X sound. So we're going to do some great work here. So I already did some of those words. So we're going to write on your paper. Oh boy. All right, at the top of your EL spiral, you're going to write an X here. And then we're going to write what three other letters make that X sound. Elena? Besides X, what's the other? S? Well, not just S. Well, no, well, you had 3 letters that we bricks and chicks and all those words. Good. CKS. So write that right next to it. There. We're going to make 2 columns. I'm going to ask you a word and you're going to predict. Is it going to go under the X for X? Or are you going to think about it? And if it's a word that when you take off the S sound, like if it's one, I'll help you with the first one. You'll notice that it goes under here. So fox, everybody's fox. The fox had on socks. Is it going to go under X or is it going to go under CKS? Fox. We all should know this one. I just read the book, right? Where's it going to go, Max? X. In fact, how are we going to spell it, Max? Fox. Everybody, make sure that when you draw your X, you got that. We haven't done any X's yet. Make sure that it's not it's only goes up to that plain line. It's not a capital X. Fox. Fox. All right. How about the word sticks? Sticks. It may have a X at the end. Sticks. Is it going to go under the X or the CKS? Surname. And how do you know that for sure? You're right. So if you take off the S, it's just stick, right? And is that an X sound anymore? No. Very good. S-T-I-C-K-S. Sticks. Because if we take off the S, stick. Does it have that X sound anymore? No, it sounds like a K, right? Stick. So fox, sticks. But that's how we know it's an X? Okay, you bet. All right, which side do you think the word mix? I will mix the recipe up tonight. Mix. So my friends at home, let's see, mix. Oh, Mr. Cooper, do you think it's an X or a CKS? Mix. X, very good. It's all right. Go ahead and write how you think you're going to spell mix. 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 All right, let's see. Oh, Charlie's not here. Let me double check. Make sure Charlie V is not here. Charlie V, is he? Oh, no, not yet. All right, I'll put him back in the pile for next time. All right, Nixon, tell me how to spell mix. M-I-X, mix. Yeah, you're gonna make a recipe? That happens. All right, you ready? Next one is sax. I play the sax in the band. Sax. So make a guess which one it's going to be. All right, sax. Which side do you think it is, Sawyer? Ah, is it more than one? So listen to the sentence. I play the sax. Do we play a sack? I'm going to have that word later, so I'm going to come back to you, okay? The word so sax is short for what word? Saxophone. So where is it going to be, Noah? In the X column. So Sawyer, I kind of tricked you because you thought I was going to go with one over here. So Abby, how am I going to spell sax? No, it's in this row. No, so sax. There's no k sound in there. Sax. Yep, there you go. S-A-X. If you have any other letters in there, be careful. Next one. This one should be easy. Socks. Which side should socks go under? We kind of looked at this one, so socks. Ellie? CKS, very good. Socks, the fox wore his socks. And I'm going to ask Isabella to tell me how to spell it.
S-O-C-K-S.
Very good. S-O-C-K-S. Because if we can't cover up the S, what word does that become? Sock. Does it have the same X sound anymore? No. So we know it's a CK. Very nice. Thank you, Isabella. Next word. Next. Some people wear a gaiter around their necks. So which one do you think it goes in next? All right, Miss Haley Calendar. Which one do you think it goes in, the X or the CKS? Next.
What's the word again?
Next. Some people wear a gaiter around their necks.
I think it would CKS.
Yes, it's going to be this, because what if it wasn't next, it would be neck, right? And that makes a K sound. Good job, Miss Haley. Let's see. Paxton, how did you write it? Very good. N-E-C-K-S. Very nice. Next. All right, the next one is ox. The ox pulled the cart. Ox. Gonna see if you guys can find that one. Ox. I'll give you a hint. Ox. Ox. All right, Sawyer, which one do you think it is? Ox. The ox, like the big animal, pulled the cart. Ox. Okay, so in case it's one animal, so ox. You had it on the right hand. You had it right. O-X. Ox. You know what's funny about ox? When you have more than one ox, they're called oxen. Instead of adding an S, you add an E-N to oxen. All right, ready? Next one. Clucks. The chicken clucks too loudly. Clucks. Clucks. Hey, ladies, if you're in front, that's fine. But if you can't talk. And you shouldn't be quite so close to each other. Okay? The chicken clucks. Clucks. Cluck. The chicken clucks. Think about that, Miss Elena. All right, so which one should it be? Josh, is it going to be X or CKS? Very good. All right, so we know which one it's going to be in. So it's clucks. So I want you to also think about what you think the beginning of that word's going to be. We kind of talked about the beginning of words that start with a K sound, but we don't have just a vowel this time. It's also our blend words. Thank you. So who thinks they know how to spell that one? Clucks. Henrik. Very good. Yes. 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 Very nice. Clucks. Because if I say the chickens cluck at night, cluck, what sound is at the end now?
K.
The K sound. So we know that it's got to be CK, and then that S makes it have that S. The chicken clucks. He doesn't clucks. Listen to the sentence. All right, next word is Max. Max is in my class. Max. This side, this side, ladies. Oh, nobody should be talking right now. Max, my friends at home. Max is in my class. All right, Robert. Does it go under X or CKS? Max.
It goes under X.
Very good. How would you spell it?
M-A-X.
Very good. And what kind of M do we need?
Actually, a button that's named Max.
Yeah, oh, good. And what kind of capital, right? M-A-X. Max. Max, is that correct? Yes. All right, last one. All right, Sawyer. I'm back to you because this is the one you thought of earlier. So the last word is sacks. It sounds like the other one, but listen to the sentence. I put all of the balls inside the sacks. I put the balls inside the sacks. So Mr. Sawyer, which one's it going to be? Very good. Excellent. Mr. Cole, how am I going to spell it? Very good. And if we cover up the S, what word does that become? Sack. Does that have the X sound anymore? No. So we know it has to be CK because it doesn't make that sound anymore without the S. All right, we're ready for sentences. Go ahead and put cups next to your sentence. So you're ready? Here we go. This one's a little long, but I'm only doing 2 sentences, my friends. So stick with me for the first one. Here we go. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the axe. Here we go. Rex is lax and did not want, there's some more right there for honey, to wax the axe. Yeah, it actually makes perfect sense. Here we go. Yep, I'm happy to repeat it. Thank you. Rex. So tap it out. Think about what, and is it an X or a CKS? Think about it. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the X. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the axe. Rex, now if you think you're done already, you need to be checking your cups, right? If you think you're done, don't be done yet until you've checked your cups. And I want you to actually cross them off after you do them. Not gonna go boom, 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 boom. You're gonna do one and then go on. I'm gonna read it again. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the axe. If you're at home and you think you're ready, make sure you look at your cups. Make sure you have your capital if there's need at the beginning of your sentence. Make sure you read it back to yourself and it makes sense. Make sure that you have your punctuation and you have your spelling as best as you can. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the axe. Many.
Think about what she's already said. Some of those words, right?
Make sure that you don't, if you have an S on it, cover it up and see if that word makes sense by itself. Because if it has a K sound, then you don't, then it's a CK. If it doesn't, then you need to have an X. All right. My friends at home, I see some of you, but can everybody give me a thumbs up if they're ready? Ben, I can't tell if your hand is up or if you have your thumb up. Do you have a question?
My hand is up. My hand is up because what does the UPS stand for? Like the cups in cups.
Okay, so you're gonna put a line through the cups when you check. So C is capitals, U is understanding, P is punctuation, and S is spelling. When you go back and check. All right.
I did
The-
all that then.
So I have some X's and S's.
Oh, there's never no, we don't have the X and any. Did Mrs. Harrison have any X's and S's? No. Never gonna have that S. It's either gonna be X or CKS. They don't go together. The S's don't go together. All right, are we ready to check? Here we go. Rex is a capital R E X. Rex is. Uh-oh. So would there? So if it's a name like Max, if we took off the S, if we put an S in the name, would he be Mac? No, he's Max. So would Rex be Rec? No. So it's a name, so it's gonna have that X. Rex is, you're fixing it up, is I-S, Lax. L-A-X. Lax. All right. So think about that word. If you put CKS and you covered up the S, you'd have the word lack with just a K, right? Or just a lack. So Rex is lack. Does that make sense? Nope. Rex is lax and did, D-I-D, not, N-O-T, want. Miss Haley Booker, tell me how to spell want. Very good. You need to have that mask on at all times, my friend. Want to wax. What sound do we hear at the end? How am I going to spell it, Abby?
W
Yep.
A
Yes. W-A-X.
was like
Did not want to wax
it's like was
the, and then X.
but some people aren't making corrections.
Oh, guys, you have to fix this. If you make a mistake, you fix it. It's okay to make a mistake.
Why is she
That's how we learn. That's how we learn, right? That's how we learn. If you make a mistake and you fix it, it tells your brain, hey, this is why this is this way, and I need to fix it. That's why Mrs. Aubin and Mrs. Harrison, if you miss anything in your homework, you have to go back and fix it because it helps your brain. So how do we spell X? That's a good question. What do you think, Madison? A-X.
So I did get it.
Did we have any CKs in that one?
No.
No, we did not. What ending mark should I have? I need a punctuation mark, Miss Bird. What do I have to have at the end? I need a period because it's a sentence that's not a question or an exclamation. All right. Number 2. We're just have one more. We're just doing 2 today. I can fix the box. I can fix the box. I can fix the box. Put your cups. Cross them out as you go, as you make sure you check. I can fix the box. I can fix the box. And make sure that your letters are spelled or your letters are written correctly there, especially on box. Make sure you have your beginning letter facing the right direction. I love how I see some people who are checking. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So check your cups. Do you have your capital? Read the sentence back to yourself and make sure you have all the words. P, do you have your punctuation? And S, are all those words spelled correctly? I can fix the box. All right. What kind of word do I need at the beginning, Miss Cernay? Tell me about that eye. Very good. I. And then can you spell can for me too? Can you tell me the next word too? How to spell it? Very good. I can fix. Marin, how do I spell fix? Very good. F-I-X. The is, I'm just going to do that one. And the last one, box. Abby, box. Oh, she's talking to you. Miss Lyric, how would I spell box? B-O-X. Very good. All right. Box. Because we wouldn't, if we spelled it B-O-C-K-S and we covered up the S, we'd have Bach. Is that the word we want? No. So we know it has to be the X. Has to be the X. Okay. Now most of these on the sentences, I just stuck to the X because I really want the X sound, but I wanted you to make sure that you could see that there are words that have that sound, but the way that you can tell whether it's the right one or not is to cover up that S, and if it still makes sense, then you know that that's a CKS. But if you fox doesn't have an S to cover up, because other would be fox, and that certainly isn't a word we want to. That may be mistaken for something else. We definitely don't want to say that. How about mix? Mick? Is that going to make any sense? No. And then same thing with ox. That's not going to make any sense. So we need to make sure you have the X sound. And then if you think it might be CKS, you can double check. All right. All right. Rex is lax and did not want to wax the axe, and I can fix the box. Woo! It's almost a tongue twister, isn't it? All right, my friends. Okay, give me a thumbs up or side thing if you're like, I think I get this X sound, when to use it and when not to use it. Give me a, really, did you miss a couple, Miss Madison?
I missed a lot.
You missed a lot? Okay, so that's something we want to work on then, huh? That's okay. Guess what? That's why we're doing this, isn't it? So we can get better. All right, thank you, my friends.
Can't we spell axe with an E as well? I've seen it both ways, A-X and A-X-E.
So in OG, they just spell it with an AX. There is a brand of stuff that has E. I'm not sure that we were really focusing on the ending at, yeah, the ending at. Okay. All right, it's your turn, my friend. So Mrs. Aubin is going to take over, my friends. Do you need the dock camera, Mrs. Aubin? Okay, I'll leave it up. Oh, because you're doing the book. Yes. Yeah. All right.
I know, but
All right, guys. So today, let's see if I can get everybody ready to rock. And I need my mic. That's what I'm missing.
Sorry.
So today, our learning target is to describe the setting of a book that we have read. So we are going to be doing fiction reading today. And hopefully we can just continue with the book we read yesterday. So hopefully everyone has one. If you don't have one at home, you can use Epic. So this is the book I'm going to share. And then I'm going to show you how you might describe the setting. And the reason we want to describe the setting is so we can build our comprehension and our schema. If you can't describe the setting of your book, then are you really understanding your story? Probably not. If you can't tell us where you are in your book, then you really aren't comprehending. And all reading really is comprehension. If you're just reading words, but you can't tell us anything about it, then are you really reading?
no.
Not really. You might be reading words, but you're not understanding. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're working on our comprehension by describing the setting. Before we do that, you need to know what setting is. Who can raise their hand and tell me what setting is? How about Cole? Where the story takes place or when the story takes place. Exactly. So this is the book I chose because it goes with overcoming challenges. You also might think not only about the setting, but this is such a good book for lesson or the moral. So we'll probably have a quick discussion on that as well. So be thinking about that as well as the setting. And I'm wondering if some of you already have an idea of the setting just by looking at the cover. What are you thinking, Paxton, by looking at the cover of this book? That it might be happening in the desert? Do you think it's here in Conifer?
No.
No, probably not.
Ben has his hand up as well.
Ben, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking some people might be carrying laundry to a place where they can wash it and dry it, because it looks like they're carrying clothes in the baskets.
Yeah, so you're kind of inferring what's happening, right? So maybe the setting will include water if they're going to be doing laundry. He said he thinks they're taking it to do laundry. All right, I also see some mountains in the background. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if that's a place. Do you think that's here in the United States? Cerne, what are you thinking? Maybe a different country altogether? Why do you think that? What are the clues that you see in the picture that might make you infer that? Well, and actually, because we have so many different cultures in the United States, depending on where you are, you might see that, but it's not common, is it? Especially not here where we are in Conifer. Yeah, go ahead, Maddie. Thank you, Cerne.
I noticed that this is the background, this is the mid-round, or this is the mid-round, and this is the front round. We learned that in the art.
Look at that. I will have to tell Mrs. Monroe that you made a connection during our all blocks foreground. Yeah. So very good. If you're looking at it as a beautiful illustration, Doug Chayka would be very impressed. So this is called 4 Feet 2 Sandals. Nice job already inferring. It's going to be a little awkward. And I feel like this might be a newer book. I'm very curious to see when it was published. Mathematicians, get your brains ready. 2007, much newer than a lot of the books Mrs. Aubin reads. 2007. Any ideas how old this book is? Can I do this? Sorry. I see some hands up here in class. Any hands up? 2007, it's the year 2020. So how old is this book? All right, Sawyer, let's hear it. He says 13 years. Does anyone agree? How do you know, Sawyer? So he just counted up from 7 to 20 and got 13. Excellent. So looking, I see more clues for the setting. Keep them in your heads because I'm going to be asking you after. All right. Lena raced barefoot to the camp entrance where relief workers threw used clothing off the back of a truck. Everyone pushed and fought for the best clothes. Lena squatted and reached, grabbing what she could. And here's another picture. Look at that setting, be imagining what's going on. She's trying to get clothing. She's at a camp. Doesn't look like the camp I know. The crowd began to leave. In the dust at Lena's feet lay a brand new sandal. It was yellow with a blue flower in the middle, and when she slipped it on her foot, it fit perfectly. Lena was 10, but she had not worn shoes for 2 years. Can you imagine not wearing shoes for 2 years? I don't think we'd survive here in Colorado without shoes for 2 years. Right? She looked around for the matching sandal. A girl stood nearby. She was thin, She was thinner and darker than Lena, and she wore a blue and yellow sandal. Assalamu alaikum, Lena greeted her. Peace be with you. The girl only stared. She was dressed in a shalwar kameez. Her feet were cracked and swollen as Lena's had been when she first arrived in camp. Suddenly the girl turned, taking the matching sandal with her. So here's one sandal. Here's the girl with the other sandal. They have matching sandals, but they each just got one. And noticing again the setting. This is a camp. It's not like the camp we have, right? When we go camping. In the morning, Lena went to do the washing, wearing one beautiful sandal. She picked her way to the stream, careful to keep her sandal out of the filth. Her old shoes had been ruined on the many miles of walking from Afghanistan to Peshawar, the refugee camp in Pakistan. Hands down, just be listening. She had carried her brother, Nahib, no bigger than a water jug then, but just as heavy. So, Ben, you were right. Your prediction was right. Look what they're doing. They've gone to the river to wash the clothes. When she looked up from her scrubbing, the girl from yesterday was standing over her. She wore one sandal that she bent over and removed. Grandma says it is stupid to wear only one. She placed the sandal at Lena's feet. Then she turned and walked away. Wait! Lena grabbed both sandals and followed her. I am Lena. The girl turned slowly. I am Feroza. Lena held the sandals out. We can share. What good is one sandal for 2 feet? Feroza frowned. You wear them both today, and I will wear them tomorrow, Lena smiled. 4 feet, 2 sandals. Feroza smiled too. She took the sandals and put them on. Tomorrow, they will be yours. So they figured out a solution. Here's more illustrations to kind of give you an idea of the setting. The 2 girls greeted each other as they carried their jugs for water the next day. Lena put the sandals on and they waited together in the long line. Everyone in the, don't know. Let me see. I will. There we go. Sorry, kids. Everyone in the camp was waiting for a new home. Mama went to meetings about being resettled. The girls stayed at in Lena's tent with Ismatu and Nahib. They were careful to keep the sandals away from the 2 boys, for Ismatu wanted to pull at the flowers and Nahib wanted to chew on them. My father and sister were killed in the war, Lena told her friend. Mama and I had to run with Ismatu and Nahib in the night. Feroza nodded and 2 tears ran down her cheek. I have only my grandmother now. So do you give me a thumbs up if you kind of know what kind of camp they're at now instead of camping up in the mountains? Thumbs up if you kind of have an idea of the setting. Thumbs up at home. I see you, Clara. All right, voices up, voices off. We're thinking, keep it here. When they did not have work to do, Lena and Feroza crept up to the windows of the school and peeked inside. The school was small with only enough room for the boys to study. The girls practiced their names in the dirt and brushed the marks away so no one would see their mistakes. Sometimes each girl wore one sandal. Other children pointed and giggled, but Lena and Feroza did not care. And here they are, practicing their names in the sand. In the evenings, the sky turned deep blue and the first stars began to sparkle. Lena and Feroza watched for the sliver of the crescent moon and signaled the beginning of Ramadan. They shared memories and whispered their dreams for a new home. And I'm not sure what Ramadan is. Maybe it's a holiday for them, like we look forward to. Like my kids are already talking about Christmas, which is so silly to me.
I'm already talking about Christmas.
One morning, they went to the stream. Oops. Josh, whole body listening. One morning, they went to the stream and washed their sandals to keep them looking new. Lena, come quick, Feroza's grandmother called. Your mother says your name is on the list. Feroza grabbed the sandals. The two girls ran ahead to the office, and here they were, washing their sandals. You can see them there. Grandma's calling. Name on a list. I'm so glad you guys are thinking. Here's another illustration. Lena stood on tiptoes and squinted at the sign. Mama's name, it's here. We are going to America. She looked at her friend. My name is not there, Feroza said quietly. She looked at her feet as she spoke. Then she bent down and took the sandals off. She handed them to Lena. You cannot go barefoot to America. Feroza gave Lena a hug. It's Lena. When it was time to leave, the relief worker gave Mama a large square white bag with numbers on it. All of your important papers are in this bag, he said. Feroza and her grandmother came to say goodbye. Lena pointed at her feet. Look, Mama. Look, Mama saved her sewing money. She has bought us shoes for America. Real shoes? Feroza admired the new black leather. Here, Lena said, it is your day to wear these. The tears in her eyes were not for the sandals. Assalamu alaikum, Feroza said as she took the faded yellow and blue sandals. Peace be with you. Lena followed the others to the bus. Wait, Feroza called as she ran to her friend. You must keep one. She handed Lena one sandal. What good is one sandal? It is good to remember. Feroza held up the other sandal. 4 feet, 2 sandals. Lena felt the tears make a trail down her cheek. She slipped the sandal into her bag and climbed on the bus. Feroza ran alongside as the bus began to move. Lena leaned out the window. We will share again in America, she called. And now we are going to think about the setting. So where do you think this takes place? Just curious. We said maybe not in this country. I heard desert. Sawyer, what are you thinking? Afghanistan? Very good. You're right. Wow, look at, they really listen, Mrs. Harrison. Abby, what are you thinking?
I was just going to say Afghanistan. Me too.
Everyone say it with me. Afghanistan. How many syllables is that? Afghanistan. 4. Did anyone want to add on to the setting? Any other ideas? What kind of camp it was? Evie?
The camp where Sangoa was.
You think, and what kind of camp was that, do you think?
I forget.
What do you think, Marin?
I think they're homeless.
Homeless, okay, yeah. What are you thinking, Cooper? Refugee camp, there it is. Does anyone understand or can explain what a refugee camp is? Noah? Sure, yeah, Ben. Nazarene Secret School, they're making connections to that. I hope you are at home. So there's a great connection. He was saying how Nazarenes, well, they didn't get, that's not exactly true, but she was without her parents and they had to run away at night. I can't remember. I don't know. They went to look for the dad. So there's some connections. Okay, now let's get back on whole body listening. We're going to connect our thinking to the setting. So I went ahead and wrote this because of time, because I know our time is going fast. The setting of my story. So I wrote a lot because this is a complicated book. And I wanted to make sure that my reader could visualize the setting. So here's what I wrote. The setting of my story is in a city on the Pakistan border. It takes place at a refugee camp, just like Cooper said. But I had to add a little bit because I'm not sure my reader will know what a refugee camp is. A refugee is someone who flees their country during a time of war or persecution. So if someone is persecuting you or threatening you, could hurt you, right? You'd want to leave to be safe. So a refugee camp is where you would go until you can resettle to a new home. Okay, so the land, now I'm going to describe it. So we know it's in Afghanistan. We know that it's a refugee camp, but there's more to the setting. The land seems dry and desert-like. I noticed that, like you, Paxton, with mountains in the distance. I also thought it was interesting, there are no trees, but there are some rocks and a river. So just like when you're doing your observations in science, so Josh, you still want to be using those describing words, okay? When you are telling about the setting. Really, the prompt today is after reading a fiction book, one you have at home or on Epic, one you have in your bin, describe the setting using descriptive words. I gave a lot of detail because mine was a pretty intense book with a lot of different things than what we're used to. Questions, Josh?
Will we use different books or that book?
You're going to use a different book. Great question. So you are going to read for a short time, and then in your EL Spiral, you are going to describe the setting if you're in person. If you are remote, you are going to fill out the Google form and turn it in to me so I can see what the setting of your book is. If you have questions at home, raise your hand. Yes, Maddie.
This isn't a question, but it's a really quick notice. So in the book, when they were looking at the chart, there was a lady that was wearing the thing, and like there was a lady that was wearing the blue, like kind of thing, like in Afghanistan.
Yeah, the clothing was the same as in Nazrine's secret school, for sure. Good connection. Questions only because of time, or you're not going to have recess time? Question, Marin. Yes, you can use the same fiction book as yesterday. Go ahead.
What if it's a chapter book?
You still have a setting in a chapter book, so you should be fine. So if I were doing my Runaway Ralph book, I would just describe where he is in that chapter. Okay? One more. Go ahead, my dear Sir Renee. If you finish your setting, you can go back to that. But do your setting today since it's fresh in your mind. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you during math. And a quick reminder, my remote kiddos from Mrs. Monroe, she said you have over half of you have not done your assignment from last week in Google Classroom. So if that's you, make sure you go back to the art classroom and do that assignment. I'll see you guys at 2:15. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and this is